Saranga, how are you?
Hi Madan, I am doing excellent. How are you today?
I'm very good. I'm really excited to talk to you today in our show.
And I'm excited to be here and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Can you please tell people about your background?
Yeah, I was born in Sri Lanka and 20 years ago, me and my whole family, we moved to Canada. Uh, and so it was quite the interesting 20 years I lived, the last 20 years in Canada. First 10 years out of that 20, I went through some sadness, down, depressed times, and that 10 years made me look for something more in life, to find happiness. It's almost like last 10 years I ended up finding or researching how to be a happy person by myself.
If people want to know about you, who is Saranga? How do you define yourself?
Well, who is Saranga? Who am I? I am a compassionate, kind soul, especially today. After all the experiences that I've gone through, I've become a person who is in search of bliss, happiness. I am striving to be a better human tomorrow, more than what I am today, like one step better tomorrow than what I am today. So that's who I am.
Right now, you are working on blissfulness. Are you professionally wanted to involve in this, or can you please define a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Blissfulness is being in a state of joy. It's almost like you're not trying or working so hard at it, but you're just in that state of happiness, joy. Even more than happiness, it is a state of joy, and you just wake up in the morning to feel blissful, to feel just to be alive. Feel alive is a bliss itself. So that's what the blissfulness is, just being joyful all the time. It's almost like your energy around you is in a state of bliss, rather than just in a place of peace and contentment. But this is blissful, like happy, excited, and joy. Yes. So yes, I would like to eventually get into a professional career, like speaking and helping other people to find that blissfulness within them, because it exists within us. It's not something we gather from outside.
Nowadays, our life is really very busy. We have work, work, and work. Every time we are busy. So in this situation, how do you think your formula of happiness work in our life?
Well, more than ever before, it is important for us to have a routine. Like for example, you wake up in the morning and you need to do something to ground yourself so you can stay in that state of bliss from the beginning. You have to set the ground, the foundation, first thing in the morning. That's the only way we can stay sane, we can stay blissful in the mornings, especially when we're happy. So my formula definitely works because I ground myself. I set my intentions, I set my day. I am in control of my day, so I set my intention to be or to live in a state of bliss. So it works because of that.
In this time of pandemic, as you know, COVID-19 hit us a lot and people become more frustrated, more sad. Being single lady, how did you manage your life and how did you become happy? Were you continuing your job?
No, absolutely not.
So yeah, it's really challenging. And how did you become blissful and become happy?
Yes, I'm so glad you asked that question, because regardless of all the work I've done on happiness or to keeping me blissful, I went through a huge transition and a realization period over the last 3 months of this pandemic. So March 17th, I got an email from my association to shut down my business. So I shut down, which meant that I didn't have any people coming over to my business, so that I didn't have any connection with, like, there's no other way for me to reach that mental stimulation or having social interaction, because my business was kind of everything for me at that point. Yes, I have a family, my parents, which they just got back from Sri Lanka from a visit, so they had to go into self-isolation. And my sister was working in healthcare, so she didn't want to see any one of us. And my friends were scared too, so it was blowing out of the proportion at the beginning. So everybody isolated themselves, and me, I was living alone and having to shut down the business. So I had a 1 month period that I didn't have any actual social interaction from any other human being. And that was, I will tell you, that was very depressing. Even though I've done so much self-work, it hit me that I was unhappy. I was so sad in some moments. Some days, there were days I did not want to wake up in the morning. I just felt like I didn't have a reason to wake up in the morning. And then it made me realize all the work I've done, all these things that I've told myself and other people, that you have to get up to feel alive. Just feeling alive itself is a great thing that we should be so grateful for. So how do I get myself to that bliss again, that happiness again? So I ended up doing a lot of meditation again, and I had to force myself to get out of the bed to do my meditations and normal yoga practices and meditations. And I ended up going, like, forcing myself to go outside for a walk and just be in the nature. There are a lot of trees, flowers and plants and birds singing, and definitely nature helped me to get back into my happy place, to find my bliss, and also forcing myself to stick to that routine that I usually do. Yeah.
But still money was not coming in our pocket. So how can we be happy when there is no money? Because nowadays people are behind money, and everyone measures their success when they are able to earn lots of money. In your sense, in this pandemic, you try to be happy and you became happy. How can we be happy? There was no business.
The thing is, the first and most importantly that we need to understand, happiness does not based on anything outside. Happiness, blissfulness is something that you create within you. You cannot add happiness to your life just by having a relationship or good health or money in your account or your job success or your school work. None of those things itself is going to bring you happiness. Certainly those things will elevate your experience in life, but it is not going to bring happiness. Happiness is something that we create within. It is a state that we can choose to live. The most important word is we can choose to live in that state, or we can choose to be miserable. So it is our choice. So what hit me is, okay, so we have a pandemic. Now I have to shut down my business, no money coming in, but still, do I have a control of what I feel, what I choose to feel? Absolutely, absolutely. I can be miserable, or I can choose to feel happy. I can choose to go for a walk. I can choose to make a phone call or a Zoom video call and talk to my friends. And I can choose to feel better. So even though no money coming in, I chose to focus on what good we have. I'm alive, I'm healthy, I have my family, even though I cannot physically see them, but they are around. So I focused on good I have. And when it comes to money, really, I mean, there was support from, like, a little bit of support that kept me going with my bills. So, but other than that, yes, I was not making any money really, but it didn't bother me. Once I got myself into that state, I had to talk to myself and say, it's okay, everything is temporary, including this pandemic, so it's gonna go away, and we might even come up with better situations to help ourselves and to be bigger and better, right? So yeah, no, that was hard at first, but I will tell you, you can keep working on yourself through these pandemics and come out of as a stronger person than ever before. So this was a blessing in that sense.
Okay, tell us a secret that when I see you talking in every situation, you are more joyful, more excited, and your face is glowing. Exactly, in everyone's life, there are ups and downs, lots of problems, and we achieve something. We have good side, bad side, but still, how do you maintain that kind of personality to present your happiness externally?
Well, thank you, Madan. That is a compliment. I will take that. Yes, well, the excitement and the glow, you know, it's again come back to what do we choose to believe. Like, I choose to not dwell on my misery or whatever the problems I have. I am not going to think about that all day long and feel miserable, because when you pick one negative thought, and we can add, there'll be 100 other thoughts that's going to come and gather into that, and that's going to suck us down into that negative vortex. So when I feel like I'm going into, or even one negative thought that comes to my mind, I catch myself and then I tell myself, okay, do I really want to go in this road of thinking one after the other, never ending negative thoughts, or do I want to just tell myself, okay, that's a negative thought, or I realize myself, yes, Saranga, that's a sad thing, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you know what, I can choose to think about something better. Like, okay, well, I have a good health, or I have some money left in my bank account, maybe I'm going to focus on that, or maybe my sister was super nice to me, so maybe I'm going to think about that rather than actually worrying about what I have to worry. Like, what my secret is, actually I write down what I need to do, so that way I don't have to keep it in my mind and think about it over and over again. So that actually helps to, like, I have a little notepad beside on my nightstand, and especially if something's bothering me and I cannot fall asleep, I will write that down and then make a reminder in my phone so that I can get back to that problem tomorrow. So you schedule time for your problem, so you can actually, rather than getting emotional and worry about it, you can actually admit and accept that yes, there's a problem, it hurts me, it makes me upset, but I'm going to schedule 2 p.m. tomorrow, I'm going to work on that problem, I'm going to plan and do whatever I need to do to solve that problem. Other than that, I do not think about that problem all day long.
I always see you happy, but then in overall, Saranga is a serious lady or a funny one?
Well, I don't take very many things seriously. It is my personality to joke about something and make fun of something, but absolutely there are moments that when we have to take things seriously, I do take it seriously, and I do tell people, and sometimes, you know, people might even think that it's too serious or too mean or too rigid, whatever, but when there is a time and place that I need to say, okay, that's not how it is done, or that is not who I am, I will say that to their face. I am working on being more gentle about expressing my opinion. I would say overall I don't take life seriously, or I don't take many things seriously, but at the same time, when there's a time and place to be serious and deal with what we need to do in life, I do that.
Exactly. Nowadays, many people are really very serious, and they are serious with their life, with their future, and they think about their past as well, and they are behind success, and their seriousness is making them sad as well, and every time they are in tension. Have you felt that people don't take seriously to the happy and funny people, and sometimes they even try to bully them? People start thinking, oh, you are not serious. Every time you're laughing?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes even people might even think that you're dumb if you're like always laughing and funny and taking things for a joke, you know? People might even think you're actually stupid. But honestly, being able to take a serious or complex situation and break it down to very simple thing, like if we can bring a complex thing into a simple thing that everybody can understand in a very light-hearted way, I think that's genius, because not everybody can break down a complex thing into a simple thing. And then also what you mentioned, people are serious because they want to go after success. But first of all, we need to define what is success. Personally, I believe success is, regardless what life throws at you, if you can go through all these ups and downs in life with absolute joy and bliss, and that is success. Doesn't matter how many millions of dollars you have, or what kind of a successful job you have, or how big of a house, or whatever it is that you desire in this materialistic world. What would that matter at the end of your life if you went through this life being a miserable, serious, unhappy person? Because you're gonna be, you're physically and mentally going to be draining too all this time, right? Your health is gonna be deteriorating and you're not gonna be happy. People around you are going to suffer because you're too serious and unhappy. So I think over the last decades, this society thought the success is achieving materialistic wealth or things in life or accumulating stuff. But we need to redefine with our generation and beyond, next generations to come. It is important that we set it right, that success is being able to go through life in the state of bliss and happiness regardless of what the life throws at you. Because life is going to happen, okay? No one's gonna go through in like one happy straight journey in life. It's just gonna happen. So when that happens, we're equipped to go through it with absolute happiness and joy. That is success. So if you want to be successful, you've got to stop being serious. That doesn't mean you don't tackle your to-do list and your goals, right? You are going to achieve those much better, much easier. You can always almost like flow with the life much easier if you can be lighthearted and just be happy.
Can you please share your experience, like when you are going to sleep at night, you lie down in your bed to sleep. Before you get deep sleep, there is some transitional period, right?
Absolutely.
10 minutes, 15 minutes, sometimes we can't sleep for half hour. If we have lots of tension, maybe it will be more than 1 hour. So
Right.
in that period, how is your mental state? Emotionally, do you think too much or just feel happy and forget everything?
Well, I am so glad you asked this question because not a lot of people talk about this, but I know personally a lot of my clients actually suffer or have problems related to this, and many people have asked me this question. So, I've done a lot of meditation throughout my last few years. So now that I'm aware about that state between being awake and then slowly transitioning into this sleep state. So there was a time, or still sometimes, if there is something that's bothering me, when I lie down in my bed, it will come to surface. Like, I wouldn't even be thinking about it 5 minutes before, but the moment you lay down, it's gonna creep up into my mind. So if I start thinking about it, then obviously I am not going to have a restful sleep. So that's why I keep that notepad. I write it down, what is that bothering me. So for example, let's say, okay, because of this pandemic right now, I have about 50% less clients showing up in my business. So this is a concern and it is bothering me. So what do I do? If that comes to my mind, let's say that came to my mind last night, so I write it down. So I need to figure out, make a plan to get more clientele, so do some marketing events. So I will write that down and then I will schedule the time, like 2 p.m. tomorrow. I have a block, free time in my schedule, so I will figure out a way to get more clients in that time. The moment I do that, my mind does not think about it anymore, because my mind knows that, oh yeah, okay, so she got a plan for that. So the mind will not think about it anymore. So sometimes, there will be 10 other problems coming to my mind, okay? Like I tackle one now, there's 10 other. Okay, I don't have, I need to buy some AAA batteries. Like I had to buy a thermometer to use on my clients before they walk into my business. So, but I don't have batteries. So I'm thinking, okay, am I gonna forget to buy batteries? I need to get batteries. So without thinking about it 100 million times, I'm gonna write that down. Tomorrow, 8 a.m., when the store opens, first thing I'm gonna do, go buy batteries. I write that down, schedule a time with it. So even if 100 things come to your mind, write those down, schedule it with a time, so that way your mind will not be thinking about it. And when you keep doing that, there will be a peace. You will find that peace within you that, okay, at one point, I don't have any more problems. I'm just, I can just go into that slumber sleep because I don't have any more thoughts trying to bother me. So I think now, because of all these meditations and yoga, I've reached a point that once I tackle those big problems, whatever's comes surface to my mind, I can simply go into that quiet place. Sometimes I would listen to a chant or something, or some very relaxing sleepy music.
You mentioned about yoga, meditation to become happy. Do you have other activities also which makes us happy besides doing yoga, meditation?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there is one thing that's very, very important, sticking to routine. Like you have to have a routine. I went through good 30 years of my life, well, I guess from the day I was born, 30 years of my life without having routine. And then it was last 5-6 years that I actually started building a routine. You need to have a set time that you wake up. You need to tell your body and mind to do this. You have to train your mind and body to go through that your morning routine, so that way it sets you in a good mood for the day. So this is how you program your body and your mind to be in that happy state. You tell it what to do, and then you train your mind and body to do what you say. Because sometimes I know I need to get up at 5:30 in the morning, but I am going to hit the snooze button and then sleep for another 10 minutes. It's because your body feels like laying in the bed because it's comfortable, and your mind keeps saying, oh, maybe 5 more minutes, I got enough time, No, you cannot keep listening to your mind and body. You have to, if you make a decision, you got to do it. So you are not giving into what your body feels, what your mind feels, you just jump and do it. So that's one thing, sticking to a morning routine, very important. And the second thing is, have a gratitude journal. There's so much to be grateful for. This is a constant reminder I have to do for myself too. Here and there are days that I don't stick to my gratitude journal, but at least I will lay down in my bed at night, think about all the good I have. There's so many beautiful friends and family I have in my life that I need to be grateful, and all the good that they do. And then even something simple as you listen to a video online, you pick one thing that could change your life drastically. So be grateful for all those things, and then be grateful for the flowers that brings you smile, a plant that makes you feel happy when you see these green lush plants right now we have because of all the rain we got, right? And then if there is a place that you feel happy to be, like looking at a sky or a lake, just be thankful for all these wonders of the nature that we have. There's so much. And then we have food, we have something to eat. We get something to eat every day. So we got to be grateful for all the good we have.
Thank you, Saranga, for giving your valuable time and sharing lots of ideas, your own experience, and presenting us how can we be happy. In this COVID-19 situation, people are facing lots of problems. I'm able to have your motivational talk on happiness. Thank you so much. We'll continue our talk in future. Namaste.
Thank you, Madan. Thank you, namaste. And thank you. Bless you all.